The universe is vast, filled with uncharted territories, countless species, and unspeakable dangers. Yet, amidst this cosmic chaos, one story stands out: the story of a primitive human, a fearless act of compassion, and an alien queen whose destiny was irrevocably altered. The Ukara Empire was a sprawling dominion of over 1,000 star systems, ruled by Queen Velithra, a being of grace and intellect, her bioluminescent skin shimmering in hues of violet and gold. The empire's rival, the Tyrannies Confederacy, had struck a devastating blow, capturing her in a surprise assault. She was taken aboard their flagship, the Crimson Omen, a fortress of despair where no prisoner had ever escaped. Velithra sat in her cell, her telepathic senses dulled by inhibitors embedded in the walls. Her empire teetered on the brink of collapse without her leadership. The Tyrannies' king, Kalthor, demanded her surrender, an ultimatum to disband the Ukara fleet and bow to his reign. Despite her predicament, Velithra's resolve remained unbroken. Meanwhile, on the remote planet of Arcana 12, Earth's most distant colony, Jack Marlowe was an anomaly. A former soldier turned prospector, Jack had chosen isolation over the bustling, mechanized life of Earth's core worlds. Arcana 12 was rugged and untamed, its dense jungles teeming with colossal fauna and towering flora that dwarfed skyscrapers. Jack's life changed when he stumbled upon the crash site. The Crimson Omen had suffered a catastrophic failure in its warp drive, sending it spiraling into Arcana 12's atmosphere. Its descent had been a fiery trail across the night sky, visible for hundreds of miles. Drawn by curiosity and the promise of salvage, Jack ventured into the jungle. The wreckage was monumental, a labyrinth of twisted metal and sparking conduits. Jack's suit, a patchwork of outdated human tech, highlighted faint life signs deep within the structure. Cautiously, he advanced, rifle at the ready. What he found defied belief. There, amidst the debris, lay Velithra, her radiant form dulled and marred by wounds. Jack had no idea who or what she was, only that she was alive. The sight of her, so alien yet so vulnerable, struck a chord within him. Jack's decision was instant. Ignoring the risk, he lifted Velithra into his arms and began the arduous trek back to his outpost. The jungle seemed alive with danger, its nocturnal predators stalking the wounded prey. Velithra, semi-conscious, tried to speak, but Jack's universal translator, decades out of date, failed to comprehend her words. At the outpost, Jack improvised medical care, using his limited supplies to stabilize her. Velithra's recovery was slow but steady, and as she regained strength, she began to learn Jack's language through her telepathic abilities, which gradually returned as the inhibitors wore off. Velithra was astounded by Jack's actions. In her experience, most species viewed the Ukara with a mix of fear and envy. Yet here was a primitive human, risking his life for a stranger. She couldn't fathom his motives, but she felt a growing respect for his bravery. News of the Crimson Omen's crash reached King Kalthor. Furious and desperate to retrieve Velithra, he dispatched a fleet to Arcana 12. The planet's volatile atmosphere and dense vegetation made the search treacherous, but Kalthor was relentless. He could not allow the Ukara queen to escape, not after coming so close to breaking her empire. Velithra, now fully aware of the impending danger, urged Jack to flee. But Jack, stubborn and resourceful, refused. "I've fought worse odds," he said, a flicker of determination in his eyes. He began fortifying his outpost, using a mix of scavenged alien tech and his own ingenuity. When the Tyrannies scouts arrived, they underestimated Jack. Armed with makeshift traps, EMP grenades crafted from salvaged power cells, and his old rifle, he turned the jungle into a death trap. Velithra, though hesitant to endanger her rescuer, joined the fight, her telepathic abilities disorienting the attackers. The final confrontation was brutal. Kalthor himself descended to the surface, leading an elite squad. Jack faced him, a lone human against an armored alien king. Their clash was a stark contrast of brute strength and tactical cunning. Jack's ingenuity and Velithra's psychic assistance proved to be the key. Together, they outmaneuvered Calthor, forcing him to retreat. With the Tyranny's forces defeated, Velithra contacted her empire. Ukara ships arrived to secure the area and rescue their queen. Before departing, Velithra offered Jack a place in her empire, a chance to leave his solitary life behind. Jack, ever the pragmatist, declined but not without a parting gift. "If you ever need help," he said, handing her a small device, "you know where to find me." Velithra nodded, her luminous eyes betraying a mix of gratitude and sadness. As the Ukara fleet vanished into the stars, Jack stood alone once more. But his actions had sparked something greater. Stories of the primitive human who had defied the tyrannies spread across the galaxy, and with them, a glimmer of hope for those who dared to stand against tyranny. In the shadowed halls of his flagship, Calthor seethed. His failure to capture Velithra had cost him dearly, but one detail haunted him more than any other: the human. A species he had dismissed as insignificant had humiliated him. As he stared out into the void, Calthor vowed to uncover the truth about humanity. And when he did, he would ensure they never posed a threat again.